Hello, today let's clean a real messy dataset, like the kind you actually get at work. This file has broken dates, dollar signs and numbers, missing values, duplicates, and messy text. By the end of this video, you'll turn it into a clean dataset you can actually analyze step by step. And this is what we will do. We'll load the data, inspect it, clean the columns, fix dates and money values, handle missing data, remove duplicates, and export a clean CSV file.
All right, so let's get started and let's open up your editor. So here I'm using Visual Studio. It has Jupyter Notebook inside it. If you want to know how to get this, I created a step-by-step video on how to install Visual Studio and Jupyter Notebook together. I'll link the video in the description below. I will also link a video on how to download Anaconda Navigator. So Anaconda Navigator has many tiles of applications to use. Here is vscode, which I am using. You can also use Spider, Jupyter Notebook, or Jupyter Notebook Lab. So I will link the video on how to download this one also. So let's get started. I'm going to open up a new file. Here on the top it asks me what file I want to open. I want to open Jupyter Notebook. I'm going to put this as Markdown. And in this Markdown is going to be my title. Clean a messy CSV file with Python. Now here I want the text a little larger, so I'm going to put some number signs there. And I'm going to hit Control and Enter to run that cell. Underneath that cell I want to do a code. So we'll use Pandas, which is the main Python library for data cleaning and analysis. And then we're going to use df equals pd.read_CSV. So this is a common Python command using the Pandas library to upload a CSV file. Next you'll see the R, which means raw string. On Windows, always use R in front of the file paths, so Python doesn't misread backslashes. Next is your file path, where your CSV lives. Now we can run our code. You can simply run all cells here on the top. You can click that, or you can click this little play button here with an arrow down to execute cells. You can also click that one and the one on top. Or you can do a Control Enter to run. Make sure your cell is selected when doing Control Enter to run a specific cell. So now you see our little check marks. It says success, so it ran successfully. So at this point, nothing is cleaned. We've only just loaded the raw data. So now we want to view it. So I'll create a markdown because I'm going to write a note here. So we loaded the data. Now we want to view it. And this one will be easy to remember. So I called my dataset df here. So now I want to use that df and then put dot head. Using this dot head, it's going to show the first 5 rows of your data set. I'll do a Control Enter, and here it is. It's good to look and inspect your data, but if you don't see enough within the 5 rows, you can click inside the parentheses, and you can put the number of rows you want to see. So for example, if I want to see 20, I'll put 20 there, and then Control Enter again. Now I'm seeing 20 rows. And I can see inconsistency like $547.10, and then there's the USD text. Also here under order total. So again, it's always good to inspect your data before cleaning it. This way it gives you an idea what you're working with. Actually, I'm going to do another markdown, and this one's going to be step 2. Inspect the data. We're going to use df.info, and I'm going to run this. So what this does is gives us a quick summary of our entire data set. So it tells us how many rows we have, how many columns we have, the name of every column, and the data types of each of those columns. So here on the non-null count, so for example, order total says 350. So if we have 372 entries, but 350 are non-null values, That means we have 22 missing values we need to clean. Now look at the column with data type. This tells us what type of data Panda thinks each column is. So for example, object, it usually is a text. And then there's float 64, which is a decimal number. So quantity is a decimal number, which we need to fix. Discount is a decimal number, which just seems right. But everything else is an object, which is usually a text. So we have to fix those, especially if we're working with the cost, the total cost. Now that we have an idea, we will go ahead and go to step 3, where we're going to clean column names. Messy column names cause problems later. I always clean them first. Instead of manually renaming 30 columns, this one line fixes everything instantly. This prevents hidden errors and makes our code easier to write. Real data analysts always standardize column names first. So we'll go ahead and run it. And it ran successfully. So now we'll go to step 4, where we're going to fix the date columns. Before analyzing dates, we must convert them into real date time formats. Otherwise, Panda treats them like text. So here in the code, we use date underscore COLS. So we create a list of date columns. There's order date, which is our column name, and we have ship underscore date, which is another column name. So those are our date columns. And like I said, this is how to create the list of date columns. So these columns are supported to contain dates. Next, we used a for COL in date underscore columns. So this loops through each date column. And then the next line is df, and then the bracket COL equals pd.toDateTime. So that line of code there converts to the actual date time format. At the end, we use errors equals course. This turns bad dates into NAT instead of crashing. So what is NAT? Well, it means not a time. Just like NANs for numbers, NAT is for date time formats. And it ran successfully. Now we'll go ahead and enter a markdown, because I'm going to put step number 5. So money columns often come with dollar signs and text. For like example, we saw the dollar signs in our data. We saw numbers with text such as USD. So we want to remove those characters. We want to strip extra spaces and then convert everything into numeric format so we can safely calculate totals and profits. So what this code does is it identifies columns that should contain money. It cleans messy currency symbols and text, removes spaces, converts everything into real numeric values, and it prevents errors from bad data. So if I run this, it should run successfully. Now, tax rates are consistent decimals. Clean the quality columns, convert to numeric. This code converts the quality columns into real numbers, turns bad values into NANs, and replaces missing or bad values with 1. This is extremely common in sales or order data. And we will run this code, and it ran successfully. So now we're going to clean quantity column and convert it to numeric. This code converts quantity column into numbers, turns bad values into NaNs and replacing missing or bad values with 1. So as you can see, our quality column here, we're going to do PD.to numeric. So we're changing that column into a numeric value. So for example, if there's any text in there, so if somebody put number 2, or they might have wrote it out TWO as text, this clears all of that and makes everything into numeric. So if the quantity is missing, it replaces it with 1. So you might ask, why 1? Well, because in many business situations, if someone ordered something and put quantity wasn't ordered, it's often assumed to be a single item. So this is a business rule decision, not just a coding decision. So you would have to ask your business, what exactly would you fill it with? So in this case, we're just going to use 1. This one simple line of code shows all your NaN values. So this tells us where data is missing. Missing values are not just errors, they usually mean something. But before fixing them, we have to ask, why are they missing? Sometimes missing means 0. Sometimes it means unknown. And sometimes it means the data was never collected. So the right fix depends on what the column represents. And that's important to know how to handle these missing values. Going to step 8, we're going to remove duplicates. But first we want to see the shape of our data. So we will type df.shape and run it. So here it shows us how many rows, 372, and how many columns we have, 17. Next we do df equals df.drop underscore duplicates. So now this drops any duplicates within our data set. And it ran successfully. Now next we want to see df.shape again, as we did up here. And then we dropped them, so let's see what our shape is now. Now we have 366. So before we dropped any duplicates, we have 372. Now we have 366. So always check before and after so you know what changed. So now this will be our final inspection. So as we did before, we did df.info and run that. So we can look at the data types. Now we have our date times, we have our floats, discounts. We can also look at our data by doing df.head. And let's do 20 rows again. So in order date, we can automatically see it cleaned up our date time, which is replacing the date with NAT for not a time. And looking at shipping cost and order cost, we can see that they are all now in the correct format. And anything that was not a total, an order total column, it replaced it with NaNs. Also our discounts, now you can see is our actual discount tax rate. Now lastly, we will now export the clean CSV file. So using the df.to underscore CSV, we're going to call this new clean CSV cleaned underscore sales underscore data CSV. You can name this whatever you like, but whatever you name it, end it with the .csv. Make sure they're both inside the double quotations, and then comma index equals false. So when I run that, it ran successfully. Now in that same folder, I have the messy data set, is where my cleaned sales data will be living in also. So now this data is ready to be imported into Power BI or even a SQL database. If you want more real practice like this, I wrote a book called Python for Data Cleaning. It walks you through exactly how data analysts clean data files using real examples. So I hope this video is helpful. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to learn more about data analytics and many tools and projects. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.